Hello and welcome back to the Shmuseum. Today, in fact, though, we are starting here at Evolve, where the GR Yaris is inside on the ramps. We're going to be doing quite a few upgrades before later on we're heading back over to the barn to have some fun. Stay tuned for that. Now, we've come out today with the AMG GTR Roadster with Brad's Abarth 124 Spider, but I want to take you inside to show you the modifications we're going to be making and to take a look at some of the cars here at Evolve as well, starting with their GR Yaris project, some parts of which are going to be making their way onto my car. So let's head on in. They do all sorts of big tuning projects, lots of BMWs, E46 M3 on this side, we've got the BMW Z3 M Coupe over on the other side, a very nice purple F90 M5. Over here, we've got their G80 M3 competition sitting lower, new wheels, host of modifications to that. We've got the AMG A45S tucked in behind. We've got the Toyota Supra. We've got the F82 M4. We've got the M2. We've got the E39 M5. We've got the F80 M3 in a lovely bright green. And if you come through back here, the work has started. The guys have been making some progress already to get everything set up for what we're going to be doing with this car today. And we have our table of goodies to explore. Now, I want to show you through the 4 or 5 or so different modifications that we're going to be working on today, starting with this rather lovely piece here, the Eventuri carbon fibre intake. Now, this part actually replaces that. Yes, that gets upgraded to this. Just a little change, I think you'll agree. And then where the filters are is going to be upgraded to this very nice carbon fibre piece as well. So I cannot wait to see what that looks like when it's actually installed in there, and most importantly later, what that's going to sound like as well. So that's the Eventuri intake. We've also got the Tegua rear view mirror riser. Now, to show you inside the car, have a look at this. The rear view mirror in the Toyota GR Yaris sits in the most annoying place. How low this is and how high the screen is in the center means that the driver gets this very small letterbox type view, and a common modification is to effectively raise this so it sits a couple of centimeters higher, and that's exactly what this is going to do, which means you have a much better vision out the front. So that's something I've really been wanting to do. In fact, I think since the first time I drove this car, that's something that's been bugging me, so we're going to be putting that in. Next up, we have the Samco Sport hoses. So we've got the turbo hoses, we've got the coolant hoses as well, and in fact, at the moment, the car is currently draining everything out so that we can do the replacement. But these parts, silicone, they're going to have more durability, but also look significantly nicer inside the engine bay. So those are going to be going in. And then with those, we've got all of the clamps, accessories, and attachments. Before we come to something fairly significant that I think is basically an absolute must, we have the Stern Performance Rear Seat Delete Kit. This is a homologated rally car. We are taking out the back seats. We are going to save a ton of weight in the process, and we have this absolutely lovely carbon fibre strut brace that runs across the back. Of course, the netting that sits below that, which both looks cool and helps with the luggage in the back also. So that's going to be going in and be a big part of the project today, to remove the original seats. Carpets are out, the work has started, and we'll get those in also. Then to show, but we're not going to be installing today, the MSS spring kit effectively here. Well, we've got the springs, components that would be pretty cool on this, but what we're going to be doing later wouldn't work so well if we lowered it right now. That will make sense in a little bit. So I guess we're going to be cracking on, working through all of this to get the car through its next round of modifications, in addition to the Miltech exhaust that we've got, the Giacuso styling kit on the exterior, the design and livery that we did at Dub Customs. But now time to add a few more things to make this even more unique. It's go time. A lot of the setup for this has been arranged by Mark Schmark.
Yep, and we're going to start with the intake and the hoses on this end. The guys at Evolve are going to help us, and I'm going to do the rear seat delete, and then we're going to quickly get this done. And I'm going to run you through some of the parts and discuss some details about it as well. So let's get started. Get the original parts out.
I'm going to do the part I can do. There we go. I feel like I've done my complicated, difficult bit. That's actually surprisingly heavy.
Yeah, because of the sound.
Should we leave it off? More lightweight?
Yeah. Chuck it away.
Take more stuff off. No bonnet, no trunk.
Yeah, we don't need that. Who needs a front windscreen?
Who needs doors?
So let's get this started.
Where do we begin?
Yeah.
Here. I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. We've also got to work with the laser lamp and shuffling how that works.
just with install of that, but...
Cool.
Let's go.
Right.
Mark, where are we at the moment with the rear seat delete?
First bolt is off, many more to go, and then I'm going to take these two parts out, and then take the bench out, and then the biggest part of the rear seat delete is done, pretty much.
Wicked. So back to the seats first, and then obviously the bench comes out second.
Yeah, and then the bench comes out second, and then building everything in, and we shed some weight. I was wondering how much we're going to take out. How do you think? A few kilos?
Tim, you're doing a very good job of helping.
A moral support.
Tim's here for moral support, just to make sure everything goes okay.
How much weight are we going to save out of it?
Hold this.
Hold on screw.
Yeah, Tim's going to hold on the screws.
It's quite funny that we can just sort of see Tim right in the corner just poking his head through.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Well, it's not like we've got back doors. There's not much access to this.
No.
No, that's why I'm through the front window
Yeah,
with the seats at the moment.
They're pretty useless anyhow, those seats. They're so small.
Wait, hold on, that should be there with that one. Out comes the seat. So this part must be like 3 or 4 kilos. I don't know what that is. That was more. It's 5.
Oh, you've got the middle part on that as well.
That's probably more. That's probably 6 or 7 kilos. That must be a good 10 kilos between just those.
But the guys have said we have scales, so later on we can pop everything we've pulled out onto scales and see. What is
If
this?
you want to save a little bit more weight, you don't carry around your Toyota Protect kit.
Nice.
The first thing you can do for weight savings, get rid of the stuff that you're lugging around in the car, probably pretty pointlessly. You could also probably go on a bit of a diet or something and save the weight
Something
too,
like
but it's cooler when you take
Battery
out
we
the
said
back
about as well. The battery, you could put a lightweight battery in to save a bit, but I don't think we're going to be that extreme with things.
That's a big old heavy brick. Oh yeah, of course, we've got the base and everything as well.
Yeah. Let me run around the front though, because I think the intake is almost ready to come out.
Making some progress very quickly.
Well, lots of the pipes have been removed.
It's a surprisingly... Oh,
like that.
It is.
nice work. It's just like,
thing-
put your fingers in the guys who've done it already, amazing.
See what the weight of that is like as well compared to the new parts. I assume.
Yeah.
I assume there's quite a big difference.
That's actually not that heavy.
No.
I'm sure, I mean, obviously carbon fibre is going to be lighter as well as carbon fibre looking beautiful. And that also happens to look really cool. Full filter setup.
Yeah.
There's lots of brackets and
It looks proper.
installed. Yeah. I just can't wait to actually hear what that sounds like when it's on.
That's just a funny piece, isn't it?
So that's your old airflow, and that's the new.
So there's a slight difference in the amount of air that can come through this.
Yeah,
This just doesn't make sense, does it?
a small amount.
It's a very strange part that you've got obviously all the open parts on the back, which just seem to defeat the point of taking in the air.
Straight out of the back. So I think it's also kind of cooling as well, engine-wise. But yeah, we'll get rid of that. We'll change that for you.
How are we, Mark?
Not too bad. I'm just trying to see. It's clicked in, so somehow we need to pull it out and then take these brackets off because they're in the way. There's 3, and then potentially also putting the seat belts, which we don't need anymore.
Tucking them, yeah. You don't really have the most room to work in here. It's not the biggest car to work in or to sit fully in.
It's 2 minis, and that's even worse. So I manage.
Brute force.
There we go.
Got it.
Now you gotta work out how to feed that back this way. That's actually not very heavy at all. That is surprisingly light. Surprisingly light.
Made out of foam, really, isn't it? So
Seat base.
that is a rear seat delete done, essentially. Just we need to tidy it up and make it look a little bit better.
Yep.
We need to take the car through, go work out, mind your head. Go work
Ducking
out.
under ramps.
Yeah, how exactly this goes.
So which bit's the front and which bit's the rear of this?
I'm not quite
So
sure.
this is the base currently. So I'm
Where
assuming.
does this go?
I think that this is the front, so this will pass through to Mark, and then this will obviously fit in
So we have the whole.
towards the back.
It has those
No,
marking
the other way
holes.
around.
Other way around?
Yeah, all the way around.
Okay,
Rotate.
wrong way around.
Bail out, revert. There we go.
That's better.
Cool.
Fit in here nicely.
So the big bracket goes out in the middle, the 2 ones on the side goes out, and then through here we'll have the connection points for the net.
Cool.
That works.
So first coolant hose is ready to come off. Simple as that.
Just like that.
Perfect. Obviously that'll then be replaced with one of our red parts.
So I've climbed out of the rear of the Yaris. Now on the outside, as you can see, we've taken out the benches, and we're currently putting away the belts behind the plastic, and some other little things are being changed so that it doesn't rattle when you've removed all these parts. I want to show you some stuff at the front of the car, because right now a lot of parts have been removed, and so we're going to put in the hoses and we're going to put in the air intake, and I want to touch on the parts a little bit. So let's first look at the intake. I don't know if you're aware of what Eventuri does, but they've done many of these carbon intakes for many other cars. I've one myself on my M2 as well. And for the Yaris, it gives you 15 horsepower extra, 24 Newton meters extra. So you have extra performance because you simply have a better airflow through the filter. And it has this patented shape as a Venturi. And this will go in the front of the car, as Tim showed you before. It's a massive improvement, and the sound from this will be really, really cool. And next to that, all the hoses that are going in. Samco makes these in the UK. You can get them in 19 colors, and they improve the flow for the fluids and the air through it, and they are much more durable, as you can see, and they look a lot better, and they give the engine bay that extra little look. And we chose red because of the design that's on the outside of the car. But you can get them in any other colors if you want to have blue or yellow or whatever you want. You can opt for them. And we're going to fit, of course, the turbo hoses, which need to go on the car, but we have to raise the car for that and then go underneath the car and fit them. And the coolant hoses are going in, and I think the majority goes in on this side, and the guys are already working on it, making sure that fits in. And they've taken out, I think, the original hoses already. You see some of them are here lying around, and there's one of them already here. So we're gonna fit those in now. And here's the air intake, the stock one. You can see what a difference that is, It's like this box, and then this massive, beautiful carbon fiber piece that's going under the bonnet. You don't see much of it, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's continue and see what's going in, and then show you the final result when everything is installed.
So this is the first of the coolant hoses on. That's just being fed through around some of the wiring from the laser lamps install, and that is another one coming off as well.
So we finished the rear seat delete, as you can see. Carpet is in, the carbon brace has been installed. The nice little net that's here has red stitching, so you can also get it in other colors if you feel like. And the guys from Stern Performance really have made this a really nice kit. They're the biggest company in developing rear seat deletes. So if you need one for your own car, have a look on their website, and the link is in the description of the video. Of course, also in connection to the other parts that we're installing on the car. But now let's have a look how much weight we saved. We have the the bench that was in the car right here, and we're going to put it on some scales and see how much weight we've saved. So have a guess, what do you think we saved? So let's put it on. 4.6 kilos for this particular part. Next one, 4.4. And then the last one. That's nice. It's about 15 kilos or not? Yeah. So we saved 15 kilos and took that out of the Yaris on the rear axle. So that's really nice. Nice to see that. And great to see this particular kit going in. Yeah, let's continue with what's left. We have the hoses still all to go in. We have the air intake still to go in. And then I have to do the little install on the rear view mirror on the inside, and we have to raise that so that at least we can look past it again. So and then pretty much it's done, and we're going to have a lot of fun later on in the video. So make sure to check that out and keep watching.
I've left you guys for a little bit. You've done a lot, it has to be said. Yep. But unfortunately, we have a little bit of a problem with the rear view mirror riser installation.
Yeah, the connection point to the window came off. And that meant that while we were installing it, we couldn't really fit the mirror anymore. So we're now reattaching it to the front windscreen, and then making sure that we can fit the mirror again. But it's quite a delicate area and quite a delicate process to get it attached.
Basically, the mounting bracket is kind of bonded to the glass, and to squeeze the various parts in, because obviously they weren't factory designed this way, is a very tight fit. So you need to be a little bit more careful, or otherwise you end up having to reattach and letting that harden and stuff. But yeah, everything's looking pretty nice, has to be said. Rear seat delete kit is epic. A little bit more tucking in that you've just done as well. although hard to show that right now. But yeah.
So the car's going up now. We've done pretty much all the coolant hoses. I think one is left, and now we're going to do the turbo hoses. Put those on. But we need to go underneath the car and get into the underneath the engine to fit those. So let's go up. So we finished underneath the car. You can see all the red hoses which we've replaced from Samco Sport. On the top there, and as well on this side as well. There's a few ones going in, and yeah, all the turbo hoses are done, all the coolant hoses are done. So we're going to close this back up, bring the car down, and then fit the Eventuri intake.
Everything is now complete. I feel like I've done very little of it, but we're going to take it out for a drive in a moment. And of course, we're going to go and have some fun. But in the meantime, have to say this looks awesome. All the red hoses matching with the red up here. I just feel like when you've got something so beautiful like this kind of needs replacing as well.
Yep. And this maybe, and maybe
And
that
that,
as
and
well.
some other-
Yeah. Not seen any parts for that yet. So if anybody has any tips, feel free to share in the comments below.
But otherwise, that looks very nice. We are going to take the car out. We'll go for a quick run around the block with it now, hear the intake sound, see what it's like, and then ultimately check everything's fine before we get this back to a field. We're going to take this for a quick run around the block here on the industrial estate, just to get a little sound check. We've got the windows down so we can hear a bit more of it. So, new intake. Oh yes, all of the air noises, the suction sound, obviously the turbocharged engine when you lift off. Let's give this one more go just here. That actually sounds really cool. We'll try and go somewhere so that we can drive it a little bit faster to hear a touch more of that. And then obviously in the field we should hear a decent amount more. I wonder what it sounds like outside. We'll find out shortly. This car has also recently had an oil change service. Being a car that we haven't done all that many miles in, but did recently, I suppose, technically finish the running in period, you could say. We took it for, or the guys I should say, took it for an oil change service while I was away, and now we can unleash it a little bit more. I'm not sure if that comes across on the camera in the same way we hear it, but not noises that you expect out of a Toyota Yaris. Not noises that you would expect from a car like this at all. So that's in normal. If we go as well into sport mode, get out of the little town area here onto a national speed limit road, we can accelerate a little bit more and hear a little bit more of the sound. Wait for it, and enjoy. Oh yes. That's quite cool. It does get windier though. Let's pop up the windows just quickly. Now, one oddity you probably noticed is that we don't currently have a rear view mirror, which is rather unusual, although it'll do for the time being until we can sort that out, just while that effectively sticks. Oh, traffic. While that sticks, and then we will reinstall it a little bit later. Well, that kind of puts an end to the fun. I guess for the time being, we'll go pick up all of the spare stuff, take it back to the Shmuseum, and then go have some fun with this. Welcome to the field. We have a field, we have a Yaris, we have a Tom.
How you doing, guys?
Who's discovered the field and experimented the most in the field.
I might have come and had a little play with this the other day, and yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. So now Tim's out to have a go, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it.
For sure, and if anybody's wondering why we haven't put lowering springs on the car yet, we don't want to tear off body parts.
And it actually gets a bit taller down there, so it's actually, this is the lower part.
Now I didn't realise, but you were just saying, in the GR Yaris,
Yeah.
when you pull the handbrake,
Yes, it actually disconnects the rear drive shafts, enabling some really big handbrake skids. So I think you're going to have some fun with this, as I discovered the other day.
driving modes though, sport, track, normal, it changes the four-wheel drive.
Yes, so in sport mode we have 70% to the rear,
Yes.
and in track mode it's 50-50. And
Yeah.
obviously in normal mode it's 70% to the front. Now I found track mode actually seemed to help the best, because it's like the rear's pushing as much as the front is pulling it round. And in
Wait.
sport I found it pushed a little, but maybe you'll find differently.
It's this weird footprint, isn't it? 'Cause it's
Yes.
quite wide but very short.
It's quite square.
Yes,
so-
it's very square. Okay,
I think it's time to go and play.
first little, I don't know, we go with the flow, we see what happens basically. Take it easy. And
Not
time. Don't take it easy this time, please. This needs windows closed though.
Are you going solo?
I guess so, I don't know. Yeah,
You can jump in
I'm
as well.
jumping in.
This intake sounds so good, by the way, from out here.
We definitely need these up, so
Seatbelts. Seatbelts and windows up.
we'll see you in a minute, guys.
Right. You can watch and laugh.
Let's hope he's turned traction off.
No. Put on. We've probably got a filthy car already.
It's not too bad, to be honest. It's not as bad as it was at the end
Believe it or
of
not,
last time.
That's with traction fully on.
Someone made an error and didn't turn it off.
So, funnily enough, as that clip started, I said, let's hope he's turned traction off.
But isn't it amazing how much it lets you slide around even with traction on?
Yes.
Like, not even in sport mode or anything. Yeah. Right, let's go again.
Go and have some proper fun.
It's a little rally car. It's a little rally car. That's
It's
all.
good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
See right here, this plaque says developed for the World Rally Championship, and it's doing what it never has done. It's now doing it.
We're trying. This is mild field off-roading. It's really controllable. I need a little bit more sport track testing. We'll be back in a moment.
This is good fun, but I think we should probably let Brad jump in and bring you guys along and
Yeah.
give you guys
It's a good idea.
go as
Why
well,
don't you
so-
drive it?
Okay, well let's
I'm going to watch it. I want to see it from the outside.
You need to hear us as well. Well, we're definitely sliding. This field is quite slippy,
Yeah.
but it is very good fun. But I'm going sideways at bushes right now.
This has definitely become full-on mess. But what we haven't done, given that it is rally, it's a rally homologation special in a rally livery that we are driving around in a rally-esque manner, and we also have the rally light at the front, the laser light that was installed. If you go and take a look at that, if I switch it on, it says, there we go. Silly bright. So I guess we better go and do some loops with the light on, because why not, hey? Let's go give
I mean,
it a
it's
go.
almost getting dark, so it works.
Yeah, exactly. This is ludicrous.
You do realise the car is a mess. Grass everywhere, splattered up the side, the wheels are basically covered in it.
What Tom doesn't realise yet is that there might be a job to get this washed up at some point soon.
And we're going to give that one to him, right?
So, right, one more. Off I go. Mark's go. And I'm just taking a look at how much greenery is in these lovely lightweight wheels that this car comes with. What have we picked up down here? A couple of bits of flowers. This is yeah, this is like a garden back here. Yeah. You a second? Yeah, get up to second. Bit of fun. I prefer sport with more power to the back. Quite fun for me to see it from the outside as well, to be honest. Little rally car in that homage livery. That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. And the suction noise is awesome from the Eventuri intake. How cool is that? Okay, I'm pleased that we've now done something
quite fun and rebellious with the GR Yaris. This is where we do what the Americans do when they're doing donuts, and I try not to get run over. Clearly I need to learn from Houston and Mondi and everyone else, because that was not how you do it. Safety first, guys, safety first. Anyway, Mark's still out having fun with the Yaris. And in case anybody is wondering, we do have permission to do this here. We have not just turned up in a random field.
Oh wow, okay.
Pretty nasty.
So this got quite caked after all. But, was it fun, Mark?
Yes.
So was it worth it?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Brad, what's going on here, mate? Why is there a wheel off? We have gone that far, have we?
But mate, we've had to go that far. If you come just round, I mean, you can probably see it from where you are, but if you look underneath.
Oh my...
This, from here to there, has all just come off of the front brake. It's everywhere. I actually don't know how much further we can go with this. I mean, my hand's now covered, which is lovely. I don't know how much further we can go in trying to clean this up without.
I mean, you've done a pretty good job, we've got to say.
I have a feeling we might need to call some pros in at some point to tidy up properly for us.
I think maybe we need to get the guys from Koi down.
Quite possibly, and give them a day on this car.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well maybe we'll see that in a vlog coming up at some point in the future.
It's again into the evening, but the guys have washed up the car. It is looking a little bit better, but I'm going to need to give this a few runs out on the road to really shake more of that grass out of it. I suppose I am mostly to blame, but a pretty good day getting a few more modifications done to the GR Yaris. This was always going to be a project car. It is a big thanks to the guys at Evolve for their work to do all of the installations. Of course, we fitted the Eventuri intake, we fitted the Stern Performance rear seat delete, we've also fitted the Samco Sport hoses, and we've started on the Tegua riser for the rear view mirror as well. This thing is quite a lot of fun, as I think we've demonstrated and experienced today, sliding it around a little bit in the field, the start of rally adventure with the rally car. You could say the only thing left now is to tidy up all of this mess. Unusually, I suppose, with a Shmuseum video, we've only actually got here to the Shmuseum at the very end of the day, but hey, it was a fun one, albeit a long one, as usual. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the GR Yaris upgrades, but that's it for today. We'll see you again next time.